Hello, hey everyone. Welcome to yet another session of the Kubestronaut Cohort Check-ins. My name is Mumshad, and I'll be your host for today. If you're here, please do send a message in the chat and let us know who you are and where you're watching us from. Let me quickly pull up my slide deck, and we can get started. All right, here we go. Okay, so I do have a special guest today. We'll be talking about the CNPE certification from the trainer itself. And but to begin with, we'll first look at those who have recently completed their certification. So we'll celebrate the achievers. And then we'll look at some of the latest courses that we have recently launched on our platform. We'll check in on the Kubestronaut cohort progress, and then we'll dive into the latest CNPE certification and some of the juicy details. All right, so who do we have here that's recently completed the certification? So we have Arman, who is a DevOps and cloud engineer at Polito. He's recently completed his CKA certification. So congratulations to Arman on the CKA certification. We have Siddharth Kumar Costa, who is a DevOps engineer, and he's also AWS and Terraform certified. He's recently completed his CKA certification. So congratulations to Siddharth. We have Gabriel, who is a voice core engineer at Vodafone, and Gabriel has recently completed the KCNA certification. So congratulations to Gabriel. We have Nourhan Mohamed, who has recently completed the CKA. Congratulations, Abdurrahman. We have Alagumutu Mariappan, who has recently become a Kubestronaut. Congratulations to Alagumutu on cracking all the 5 certifications and becoming a Kubestronaut. We have Hamza Omar, who has recently completed all the certifications needed to become a Kubestronaut. Congratulations to Hamza. He is the 40th Kubestronaut in Saudi Arabia, one of the 40 Kubestronauts in Saudi Arabia. Congratulations, that's a huge achievement. We have Eranga Kavisanka, who's a DevOps engineer, who has recently completed the KCNA certification. Raj Kumar, who's recently completed the CKA and CKAD certification. So congratulations to Raj Kumar. Let's see who will we have. Outside of the Kubernetes certifications, we have Togolder, who's become a CNCF Kubestronaut and has completed the PCA, the Prometheus Certified Associate certification. So congratulations. We have Kaustuba, who's done the Certified GitOps Associate. We have Alok Rahul, who's recently completed the Certified Backstage Associate certification. So I'm guessing it's probably on the way to get the Golden Kubestronaut. That's the 12th certification of the year. That's a lot of learning. So congratulations. We have Chandan Jaya, who's recently completed the Azure Administrator Associate certification. We have Anubham Singh, who is a Senior DevOps DBA and has completed the Linux, the LFCS certification. Togolder has also done the LFCS certification. So congratulations. And we have Dara, who has recently completed the CNPE Associate certification. So congratulations to Dara. And we have Mohan Akanan, who has recently completed the Certified Cloud Native Security Expert certification. So congratulations. All right. So once again, big congrats to everyone who is completing the certs and becoming Kubestronauts and Golden Kubestronauts. In our effort to help you to continue to learn, we have a bunch of new courses that we have recently released. So the past couple of weeks, we've been releasing a lot of new courses. The first is the CNPE certification by Nourhan. This is something we're going to be talking about. Just yesterday, we released the Kubernetes operator certification. So take a look at that. We have the KServe fundamentals, the KServe fundamentals course that we recently released. So check that out too. We have the Terraform on Azure course by Ritin, where we look at Terraform and its applications on the Azure cloud. Last week, we also released the AWS Machine Learning Associate certification. So this is by Awais, and this is the one that you will need if you're on your ML Ops journey. We also released the GitOps Foundations certification. So go to KodeKloud.com/recent courses to check out these new courses. We have a few that are upcoming. So we have the data structures and algorithms course in the fundamentals track. We have a course on loop engineering by Chris Short, and we have a course on system design by Aditya, and we have the RHCSA course that is now being updated. So there's a new version coming out for that very soon. Taking a look at the Kubestronaut cohorts, we had recently, let me log in. All right, so yeah, I see a bunch of messages. We have Samir from Pune. We have Sudeep. Hello, Sudeep. And we also have Johnny from Germany. Welcome. We have Muhammad Idris from Malaysia. Welcome, Muhammad. We have Mustafa from Romania. Vincent from Mauritius. And we have, not sure who that is, Null Rabbit Labs from Germany. And so if you're here, let us know your name in the chat and where you're from. Okay, let's continue. So I was sharing the Kubestronaut cohorts. So we have the AWS AI practitioner cohort that's been going on as well. And we have the Golden Kubestronaut and the Kubestronaut cohorts. If you look at the the Kubestronaut cohorts, we started a new cohort in July 2026. So we still have, this is currently accepting active applications. So do join if you have a plan to become a Kubestronaut within the next year or so. We have a couple hundreds of them that are being going through in the past few cohorts. And if you look at this cohort, you'll see we have a few who have already become a Kubestronaut, and a few others who are on their way. So the applications to this cohort closes at the end of July. So if you have plans to start your journey, please do join right now. So if you go to cohorts.kodekloud.com, you'll be able to select the cohort and join in. If you look at here on the left, you'll see the journey. So we're thinking about a year-long cohort. So you have this one starts with the CKA. The first part starts with the CKA, and then you go to CKAD, and then you have the KCNA, the CKS, the KCSA. And there's a little bit of a buffer period for those who need a little bit of additional time. So it's a kind of an year-long cohort, but if depending on your speed, you can go through it quickly. The second path is the kind of the more beginner level path, I would say. This starts with the KCNA certification, and then you have the CKAD, CKA, then CKS, and the KCSA certification. So you're free to choose either of these paths, and you'll be able to join everyone else in the Discord cohort and learn together. So definitely check it out if you're planning to start your Kubestronaut journey. There's also a sale happening at the Linux Foundation. So if you'd like to get your vouchers, check this out. Check the coupon codes out to get a discount on the certification. All right, so let's bring our guest in. We have Nourhan with us today, and we're going to be talking about the Certified Cloud Native Platform Engineer certification, the CNPE certification. So hey Nourhan, welcome to the podcast.
Hey everyone, happy to be with you. Hey Mumshad.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming back. I think we've done this once in the past, right?
Twice
in the past, yeah. Thank you. And the one was for the Golden Kubestronaut journey.
One was the Golden Kubestronaut, and the other one was when we hit 1 million users for our labs.
Yeah.
When we celebrated that.
Yeah, awesome. And now we have, but was it about a certification or a course that you did with us in the past, or no?
No, I was generally talking about my Golden Kubestronaut journey.
Journey, yeah.
So general about all the
Yeah.
certifications and questions.
Yeah, right. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Okay, so here we have the CNPE certification. So just to help everyone understand, can you just walk us through what the certification is about at a high level and its connection to the Kubestronaut or the Golden Kubestronaut journeys?
Yeah, indeed. So as I see it from my perspective, this is like something that tests everything that you have learned while going through all the certifications for the Golden Kubestronaut track. So we start by becoming Kubestronauts. So we learn about Kubernetes, we learn about managing applications, deployments, and then securing our applications. And then we go into GitOps, we explore GitOps on Kubernetes, and then we check other solutions related to security and policy management on Kubernetes. And then we go and check how we can take metrics, traces, logs, how can we collect performance of our applications, and how we can see the cost of our applications and how we can optimize our platform in general. So this course just ties everything in. It tells you the best practices that you need to go through after learning all these separate tools. How can you build a platform that has all these tools and observes the best practices in each and ties everything and makes the developers' lives easier in each company?
Awesome. Yeah. So this is now, is that the 15th or the 16th certification for Golden Kubestronaut?
Yeah. 16th, I guess.
16th. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So let's dive in. So there are 5 exam domains. Maybe would you walk us through the different areas?
Sure. So 5 exam domains are the ones that are published by CNCF. So we start by 15% on the general platform architecture and infrastructure. So how do we size our platform? How do we set up everything from the beginning? What is the blueprint of setting a good platform? How we configure compute, storage, and networking, which is a core component of all platforms, and how do we optimize our costs on that? And then comes 2 big parts of the exam, so 25% and 25%. First one is on GitOps and continuous delivery. So how can we incorporate GitOps workflows in our infrastructure? How do we obtain CI/CD and achieve progressive delivery to our applications? And how can we introduce new types to our platform? So every company has its own resources. Maybe Kubernetes provides some set of known resources like stateful sets, deployment, stuff like that. But what if I need a database? What if I need something that relates to me in my platform? So we talk about CRDs here, self-service platforms, and how to automate all that. And then we go into observability and operations with 20% of exam weight. So we explore monitoring, logging, tracing, and how do we track incidents and how do we respond to incidents. So generally how to have a complete monitoring framework to our platform. And lastly, and most importantly, we have 15% here, but it's a very important aspect of any platform: security and policy enforcement. So how to enforce role-based access controls, secure our workloads, and make sure that everything is running with policies and governed and tracked and secure in general from all outside attacks.
Great. Thank you. So that is a lot, right? So that goes from all the way from the platform architecture infrastructure to GitOps and continuous delivery, the CI/CD part of it, to custom APIs with CRDs and automation frameworks and observability and security, which is like it's the full stack, like end to end. Right?
Exactly. That's why it's not a beginner course. So I don't advise anybody that does not know about Kubernetes to take this course now. So you have to start from the beginning, learn more about Kubernetes, how to administrate Kubernetes using we offer courses on Kubernetes for beginners, and then CKA and CKAD first, and then go into CKS, which is a bit more advanced. And then after you do that, explore a little bit about CRDs, GitOps workflows, CI/CD, and monitoring, and then maybe get introduced to the. We have a course as well on CNPE, which is the associate certificate for that. So it gives you like the background knowledge that you need to know about platforms in general before deep diving into how to use that in using hands-on in your platform.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned CNPA. Can you maybe quickly share like the difference between the two, the CNPA and the CNPE?
So the difference between CNPA and CNPE is pretty much the same as the difference between KCSA and CKS or KCNA and CKA. So the CNPA just gives the background knowledge that you need to know about the topic before prepares you into taking a hands-on performance exam. So the CNPA is an MCQ-based exam, and then this CNPE is a lab-based or a performance-based exam.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so this is the performance-based version of the CNPA.
Yes.
But in terms of the topics and the coverage, is it similar?
It is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
similar.
Got it. So and do you know if it is a prerequisite? Is it a prerequisite to do the
No.
CNPA? No, it is not.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So the tools that are covered.
The interesting part here.
Yeah.
So the interesting part is, as we said, this is a performance-based exam. So in the exam, after you have learned everything on concepts related to everything that we have discussed, you have to actually apply it. So CNCF published a portfolio of tools that you might encounter in the exam. Some of these are obvious for you to see because they are like one in a kind in their category. So for example, Prometheus is the only thing that handles metrics. So if you have a question on Prometheus, or if a question needs to address metrics, it's just going to be Prometheus. Grafana is for visualization. Hand in hand, OpenTelemetry and Jaeger comes together. So OpenTelemetry instruments your applications, and then Jaeger can visualize the spans and traces. So some of these are going to be in the exam. Some will be there. You might use them, you might not. We'll get into how the exam is formatted in a bit, but it's a lot. That's why it takes a lot of practice before you should subscribe to this exam or like pick up on this exam.
Okay, so Kubernetes plus all of these, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And I know that each of these have their own exams, some of them, right? For example, Prometheus has its own certification. Argo has its own certification.
OpenTelemetry has.
And Kyverno has.
Istio
has. Okay.
Yeah.
So first you go through those individual certifications, like you become an expert in each of them, and then you want to go for this.
It's advised, yeah. It's advised.
Okay.
You don't have, it's not a prerequisite, but it's generally advised, because if we can go to the next slide, we're gonna take a look on the exam itself.
Yep.
So because this is a performance-based exam, they mentioned it's gonna be from 15 to 20 tasks per exam. In my case, I took the exam, it was 16 questions, and this leaves like 7.5 minutes for each question. So if you don't know anything about the tool, I don't think you can understand the whole tool and answer the question in 7.5 minutes. Yeah. So usually getting to know the tools and getting some hands-on on all the tools before joining the exam is going to give a very good edge for everybody, because it's very, very hard to like read the question, understand the problem, read the documentation, answer the question, and verify it in just 7 minutes. So
got it. Okay. So the overall format is similar to the CKA. So there's about 15 to 20 tasks. It's performance-based, so it's on a live environment. It's about 2 hours. It's 64% passing score, and the validity is about 2 years. And the setup,
same proctoring. It's with PSI Secure Browser. Currently offered in English and currently running Kubernetes 1.35.
Okay. Interesting. By the way, if any of you have any questions about the exam, of course, not the questions in the exam, but questions about the exam, and need or anything about the topics or the course, please drop a comment below, and we'll kind of look into it. But yeah, I see that there are a few more people who are here. So we have Shazib from Pakistan. We have Gaurav from India. We have someone from Sri Lanka. We have Dheeraj from Himachal, India. We have Arif from India. We have Bill from Boston, and Venkat from Hyderabad. We have Ibrahim from Libya. Ahmad, Netherlands. That is, hey Ahmed, good to see you here. And we have Sabi. Who else do we have? We have Sai from India. And yep, yes, Ibrahim, I see your suggestion. That's about the lesson receiving from the video. Thank you for the feedback. We'll definitely take that into consideration. And we have some friends from Egypt.
Yeah. Hello, Hussein.
Okay, that's awesome. We have Bhavya from Sri Lanka. The last few, we have Fabrizio. Hey, Fabrizio, it's good to see you here. And we have Bhati from Dakar, Vivek from India. Okay, so we do have a question. Where is the test offered? How do I sign up for the test? So this is the exam from the Linux Foundation. So if you go to the Linux Foundation, and we'll also share a link towards the end. You can register for the exam. And of course, there are some prerequisites and some courses you have to take. And that's something that we provide. All right, so Nourhan, let's get, by the way, if you have any other questions about the exam, feel free to ask. Okay. So tell us about the course, Nourhan. But first of all, how long did it take for you to develop the course?
3 months.
3 months.
It was a long one, yeah. It covered a lot of aspects, so it took a lot of research. Yeah. So what I thought about when I was doing the course is I would cover the basic principle of a topic. So let's say we're covering GitOps, so we're just talking about GitOps in general. And then we pick the tools that are available. We explore the tools. Then we get some demos on how to use these tools. And then you have hands-on labs. So I tried to put as much hands-on labs. I guess we have 28 labs in that course. So a lot of practice to be able to give you the opportunity to practice all the tools and practice everything. We have demos as well, in which I try to show everything. Like, of course, you cannot show all the tool. We're not covering the tools in specific, but it's like a summary or a recap for all the tools, what you might encounter, what you might need to know for the sake of the exam, as well as in general on the tools. I included some tips and tricks on the exam at the end in the last chapter, and every link that you need to know about the exam, about the resources provided, about how to subscribe, how to our discount codes in KodeKloud. So all that is going to be there as well in the course. And we have a mock exam. I tried to make it as close to the exam experience as possible. So it basically covers most of the topics that are covered in the exam. We have resource links linked into the mock exam, and it has clusters. So it gives you the closest experience that you can get into the exam. So I highly encourage you to take the mock exam and to practice a lot before taking the certification, especially that you've noticed that we have 16 questions on various topics in just 2 hours. So the most difficult thing about this exam as well is the time. Time is very, very challenging.
Yeah, I can understand. So it's going to be very similar to the CKA. So you'll run into all the challenges related to whatever you are going to have for a performance-based exam, which is time is always going to be the villain, right?
Yeah. Time. from all the certifications that I had, the courses that I had problem with time was pretty much CNPE and CKS. So these are the most challenging exams that you need all the time. Literally, you don't have time to verify your answers even in most of the cases. So
yeah,
yeah,
makes sense. Okay, awesome. And how many mock exams do we have?
I'm developing another one. So we have one on the platform, and we're gonna release another one soon.
Okay, awesome. So there are about 20 hands-on labs, and I'm guessing these are for different tools that are available, different sections, different tools.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's exam tips and tricks, and there's also a mock exam at the end. That kind of
And I
gives
have
you
end of module quizzes as well. Just if somebody would like to refresh their knowledge from the whole module, they would be able to do that as well.
Yeah. Got it.
I can see a lovely comment from Petra in the chat. So she took the course and passed the exam. So thank you, Petra, for that. It warms my heart.
Yeah, congratulations, Petra, on passing the certification. And I hope the course will help a lot, a lot others as well.
Indeed.
Awesome. Okay, all right. We have some sample questions and how to tackle them. So yes, this kind of gives you a flavor of like what can you expect in the exam and how do you go about tackling them. So yes, tell us, Nourhan.
Okay. So I'm not going to deep dive into the technical aspect, but just like how you read the question, how you think about it here. So each exam question is on a dedicated node. The first thing that you have to make sure of is that you're logged into the correct node. So if you answered the question on the incorrect node, you are going to get a 0, unfortunately, in that question. So this is a very easy thing. It's a copy and paste. They provide all the SSH and the whatever names you need. You can copy and paste. You don't have to write them yourself, just to make sure that it is correct. So first, make sure that you are logged into the correct node, and then start reading the question easily. The questions were straightforward, so you don't have to struggle a lot to know what type of tool you are going to use or anything. It's easy. They provide the question, and then they provide some links as well. So first, you have two options. Sometimes some questions are offered using CLI or UI. In that case, we are talking about a fintech platform team that is onboarding a new tenant onto a namespace, and they want to ensure some guardrails on or enforce some guardrails on the workloads. So if we read the question, we will know that eventually they need to do a limit range and a resource quota, which are Kubernetes resources. So what my mind will pop into the exam would be, I need the YAML formats for both, because there are no, I don't have any Kubernetes imperative commands to do that. I need YAML. So usually you would find the resources linked above the questions in the exam on the top left-hand side. So explore these, or if you already know how to get them quickly from the documentation, do so. One thing for anybody that is not using Linux in general in their lives, just make sure that you know the copy and paste dynamics, because it can be a little bit hard if you're used to Mac or to Windows, how to copy and paste. So practice that on a Linux VM before the exam, because you don't want to keep battling with copying and pasting stuff, and you'll have to copy and paste a lot of stuff. So this is one thing. And then now we know we don't have a UI option, we just have a CLI option. So that's an easy thing to think about. I'll get both YAMLs, and then I'll read the question properly. I need to know which namespace I'm dealing with, because if I applied the resources in a wrong namespace, it's a 0 as well. Yeah. So let's look here. It's telling me to apply it in the billing-dev namespace. So that's the namespace I need to use. And then I will read carefully the configurations that it's telling me. So containers that do not specify resources of defaults of some sort of CPU and memory requests, and then some sort of CPU and memory limits. I know these. I'll put them where they should be. Then the next one is enforcing, I only want 12 pods and 5 services, so I can do that in the quotas as well. And then once I finish, I name the resources exactly as they want them to be. So billing-dev-defaults and billing-dev-caps. So these things are very, like, you might think this is easy and intuitive, but if you just make a small typo in the name, it will cost you the mark. So just focus on that. And then if you get stuck with a question, do not waste your time on the question. Just flag it and get back to it at the end. Because if you waste your more than your 7 minutes on one question, this is costing you another expensive minutes that you have in other questions. So in this case, this question is a straightforward one. I will get both the resource quota and limit ranges, fill in the information, and make sure to apply your YAML files. If you just created the file and forgot to apply it, you get nothing. So just make sure. If you are very lucky and you have extra time at the end, verify your answer. If you don't, leave that at the end as well. So yeah.
Interesting.
So that's one sample. We can explore the rest if you want as well, Mumshad.
Yeah. So in this one, so there are a lot of things here, right? A lot of variables. So you have the 200 CPU and the 192 memory for requests, and then there's the one for limits, and then you have policies that say cannot exceed 12 pods and 5 services, capped at 3 and limits at 6. So there's two kind of resources that we want to create, and how do we, when you say CLI or UI, because this is just plain Kubernetes, it's a CLI.
Yeah, it's a CLI. Yeah, you don't have the option of UI here.
Okay, so there would be UI for other tools like
Argo
or other.
I have other examples. Yeah, I have other examples. So the thing is, as you saw here, there is a lot of things to configure in one question, and it's the same in the exam. So we have to carefully read. Don't spend too much time reading as well, and don't waste your time on reading the documentation. Try to prepare beforehand and read documentation pages beforehand.
Yeah. So use the documentation just for a quick reference of, say, syntax or
grabbing YAML files.
Grab a YAML file or something, but not necessarily to use the documentation to read and learn at that time, right? You want to be prepared in advance. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the second one.
Second one, again, this is a good example of a question that you might opt for using the UI better than the CLI. So in this case, the on-call team wants to get a glance on the node availability. So we know upfront that we need metrics and visualization. So Prometheus and Grafana, they are both running. Usually the infrastructure is running for you in the exam. You don't have to install any tools. But sometimes glitches happens and you have to troubleshoot the actual infrastructure. So if that happened to you in the exam, just embrace it. It can happen sometimes. So you have Grafana and Prometheus. The easiest thing if you are working with Grafana is the Grafana UI. I'm sure that if you spend time to explore the documentation and get the API calls for Grafana, you're gonna just lose a lot of time for no reason. So is the good choice here is to just opt for the UI, and they give you links for the UIs if they are exposed. So if they have the UI in the question, they are just going to give you the link. You can just click on it. You will get to the deployed Grafana instance or Prometheus instance, and you can read the question and create it as the question would say. Again, I would like to reiterate that you have to copy and paste the names, the query, anything like that, because if you created it in a wrong dashboard or with a wrong name, that costs you a lot. It might not even be picked up by the script that corrects the exam.
Yeah.
And then third type of question that you might see, in that question, they are giving you a tool choice as well. So the platform team wants the pod info developer tool to be delivered declaratively. So in a question, you might be given a choice of tools. So if there are two tools that are both CNCF native and they give the same experience or they give the same aspect, deliver the same aspect, you can be given a choice of tool. So if you're usually dealing with Argo CD, for example, do not pick Flux. If you are comfortable using Flux, do not use Argo CD. And if you pick Argo CD, it provides a UI, so do not use CLI, because this is just going to be easier to pick or apply anything that is in the exam on the UI without having to struggle with the YAML files and which fields are there and the indentation and stuff like that. So these minor choices that you make would save you a lot of time in the exam. So it's a straightforward question that I put in the slide here. So you're just creating an application and you're configuring it based on some details that the question would say. And like I said, the trick here is to read the question quickly, make sure that you copy all details correctly, and make sure that you take the help of the tool that you're already comfortable with. You don't have to read documentation for, if that's an option, and opt for UI when it's available, because sometimes this is way easier to handle. And one other thing that I thought about now that is not covered maybe in the sample questions, but you typically would get a question or two on troubleshooting as well. So when you get a question on troubleshooting, if you cannot spot the problem quickly, just leave the question at the end, because these questions can suck you in. You would be very intrigued to know what the problem is, and you can keep troubleshooting and then just forget that the time is running up.
Got it. Okay. So in this one, for example, you have an option between Argo CD and Flux. Is there a definitive list of tools? Okay, that's the list we saw earlier, right? Like the list of tools that may or may not. Like there is a list of tools that we have to for sure learn, right?
Not for sure learn, but the documentation or resources from CNCF is listing the tools that we had in the earlier slide. So they are saying that you might see these tools on the test, not necessarily all of them, and you might not need all of them. Like, for example, if you have Argo and Flux, you would see both in the exam, but you can pick one or the other. You don't have to have the two.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Do we have more? Yeah, those are the sample questions. So if anyone has any question, feel free to ask. So someone's asking, this live is real or it had been recorded. So just to prove that this is not a recording, here's us responding to that. So yeah, this is not recorded. This is the live. Cool. Then we have a question: when are we having DevOps? So DevSecOps. Yeah, I think that's something that we've been discussing internally. We probably have. So we already have a couple of courses on security. So we have some Azure. We have some cloud security courses. We have the CKS and a couple others, the KCSA security courses. But yeah, if there's anything specific that you want us to cover, please let us know. And you could also go to request.kodekloud.com and drop a request there, because that's where we pick what we're going to work next from. So do drop a vote there, or do drop a link there. There's another question regarding wanting to subscribe to the business subscription, but I want to do it personally. So the business subscription is only for business customers, as in people, customers who want like 5+ seats for B2B customers. And so for individual, it doesn't really make any sense. It's best to stick to the individual subscription. Cool. I think those are the questions. Well, Nourhan, thank you so much for your time once again, for coming back to this podcast. Like, is there anything else you're working on right now? What's any new courses we can expect from you?
No, we're revamping the Grafana Low-Key course, so this is going to be released soon. We had an initially beginner level cross-plane course. It's a learn by doing. We recently released videos for that as well, so it became more intuitive for people to learn.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're working on labs for all courses that we're currently in progress. So a lot of technology going on.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. All right. So thank you so much once again, and thanks everybody. And
Thank
we'll
you for
see you
having
all.
me.
Yeah, we'll see you all next time.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.